Welcome. Please join with me in celebrating viewpoint diversity. But I'll begin with a question. What's the purpose of a university? We undertake research, learning and teaching, we engage with the community, we do all number of things. But what's the core idea? There are diverse opinions, diverse viewpoints about what the core idea of a university might be, but I suggest that it's free inquiry into the human condition in order to seek understanding. But notice that that requires a culture supportive of free inquiry. A culture supportive of free inquiry is central to the notion of free speech. Free speech, of course, is one of the central pillars of Western culture in the classical liberal tradition. And John Stuart Mill is one of the great advocates for free speech. His argument concerned seeking happiness, and the best way for any individual to have the best chance of gaining happiness was to be free to explore all sorts of ideas such that they might discover the ideas that work for them. So he is a strong advocate of free speech. Here's his advice. The only way in which a human being can make some approach to knowing the whole of a subject is by hearing what can be said about it by persons of every variety of opinion and studying all modes in which it can be looked at by every character of mind. A powerful message about free speech. And of course, that is at the heart of academic freedom. Here's a quote from the UTAS Academic Freedom and Free Speech Policy. The university is deeply committed to the promotion and protection of academic freedom. Academic freedom underpins a healthy, pluralistic, and democratic society. So we're very lucky to be working at an institution that values and protects freedom of inquiry and academic freedom and free speech. But worryingly, there are concerns emerging overseas that threaten that culture of free inquiry. The Heterodox Academy, of which I'm a proud member, runs the Understanding the Campus Expression Climate Survey in the US, and in 2020 found that reluctance to discuss controversial topics increased in college classrooms from 2019 to 2020, and students were reluctant to speak up in class because they were concerned other students would criticize their views for being offensive. Now, of course, academic freedom should be combined with respectful and constructive dialogue. So that's always a sort of a given. But even in the presence of respectful and constructive dialogue, people can be offended. But that is a byproduct, a side effect, if you like, of the importance of rigorous academic discussion. It's not intended, might be an unforeseen side effect, but it's more important to be protecting the climate of free speech. What is causing this reluctance in students to discuss controversial topics? Well, there are a number of causes, but perhaps two central causes are what have become known as echo chambers and epistemic bubbles, whereby people only talk to other people who agree with them, and then, not surprisingly, they are intolerant to the views of others. But that's a problem for the pursuit of knowledge. What can be done? Well, universities can celebrate viewpoint diversity. To develop a student's understanding of viewpoint diversity, drawing students' attention to all sides of a debate. Here's a US resource that I invite you to look at. And one can also develop a student's capacity for respectful and constructive engagement with the diversity of viewpoints of others. And I encourage you to look at the Open Mind platform, because that is a free online platform that builds the skills of students to discuss topics when the people discussing those topics have differing viewpoints. Thank you.